The orgasm, in particular, is frequently worshipped, seen as the pinnacle of human experience, an almost sacred release that many chase relentlessly. However, this obsession with sexual energy and its climax can lead to spiritual, emotional, and even physical imbalances. Ancient wisdom traditions, from Tantra to Taoism, from Christianity to Hinduism, have long warned against the reckless dissipation of sexual energy. Instead, they advocate for its conscious cultivation and transmutation into higher creativity, vitality, and spiritual awakening. This essay argues against the blind worship of the orgasm and explores why mastering, rather than being enslaved by, sexual energy is essential for fulfilling an enlightened life. Sex has become a commodity. The media, entertainment, and even casual conversations glorify climax, as if it is the meaning of life. Music videos, advertisements, films, and pornography all sell the orgasm as the pinnacle of existence. The message is clear. You are missing out if you're not chasing that peak. This cultural narrative wires the subconscious mind to equate value with orgasmic pleasure. Young men and women are conditioned to measure their desirability, masculinity, femininity, and even worth based on their ability to give or receive pleasure. The bedroom becomes a battlefield of ego and validation, rather than a temple of connection and transformation. But what gets lost in this chase is the truth. The orgasm is not the source of your power. It is a release of it. Every time you give in to the worship of orgasm, especially through frequent, mindless release, you are handing over the keys to your internal kingdom. Sexual energy is life force energy. In ancient spiritual traditions, Taoism, Tantra, and various yogic disciplines, sexual energy is considered the raw power that can be transmuted into higher consciousness, creative expression, and physical vitality. When you expend it carelessly through compulsive orgasm, especially via masturbation or porn, you sacrifice your potential. This is not about puritanical suppression of sexuality. This is about strategic conservation. Every orgasm is a spiritual transaction. You are exchanging your deepest energy for a few seconds of pleasure. If that transaction is not intentional, you are weakening yourself. Excessive release leads to depletion of energy and motivation, loss of mental clarity and focus, diminished magnetism and aura, emotional numbness and instability, reduced drive and discipline, spiritual disconnect. The obsession with orgasm keeps you earthbound. It keeps you chasing external satisfaction instead of cultivating internal power. The cost is not just physical. It is spiritual and psychological. The chase for orgasm is a spiritual distraction. It offers a false promise of fulfillment. In the moment, it may feel like an escape, a release, a reward. But what comes after? Emptiness, guilt, fatigue, loss of purpose. You must understand, the orgasm worshiper is a slave to sensation, and a man who is a slave to sensation cannot walk the path of mastery. Fulfillment does not come from temporary highs. Fulfillment comes from living aligned with purpose, preserving and redirecting energy toward creation and legacy. When you stop seeking satisfaction outside of yourself, you begin to generate internal power that no orgasm can match. Semen is not just fluid. It is life in liquid form. Within it is the seed of creation, the encoded blueprint of your lineage, the condensed essence of your energy. To spill it constantly is to dishonor its sacredness. Practicing semen retention is not repression. It is elevation. It is choosing to store your energy and direct it toward your mission, your vision, and your evolution. It is the path of kings, sages, warriors, and creators. When you retain, your eyes sharpen, your presence deepens, your intuition strengthens, your confidence rises, your aura expands, your productivity soars. Transmutation is the process of taking sexual energy and refining it into something higher. That may be writing, speaking, building, leading, or meditating. When you stop releasing aimlessly, your body becomes a vessel of power. You are no longer distracted by lust. You are focused by fire. Orgasm has its place. It is a sacred and powerful experience when shared intentionally with a partner in aligned energy. But even then, it should not be the focus. It should be the byproduct of deeper connection, mutual reverence, and spiritual union. In sacred sex, the goal is not climax but communion. Eye contact, breath, energy circulation, heart alignment. When orgasm does happen, it is an offering, not an escape. It becomes a conscious surrender, not a compulsive habit. To master sexual energy is to decouple pleasure from need. You must retrain your mind to understand that you are not missing anything by not climaxing. In fact, you're gaining everything: control, power, and clarity. The shift begins in the mind. You must confront the internal programming that says, "I need to orgasm to feel good. This is normal. Everyone does it. I'm not hurting anyone. It's just a way to relax." These beliefs are lies rooted in dopamine addiction. The mind addicted to orgasm is not a free mind. It is reactive, impulsive, easily manipulated. Start reprogramming your thoughts. My energy is sacred. I do not trade power for pleasure. Every urge is an opportunity for mastery. I lead my body. It does not lead me. I am in control of my fire. Affirmations, breath work, cold showers, journaling, and physical discipline all become tools in your rewiring process. The more you say no to release, the more yes you say to your destiny. Women can feel the difference between a man who is driven by lust and a man who is charged with purpose. The man who retains his sexual energy exudes a magnetic presence. His aura is heavy. His voice is grounded. His eyes do not beg, they command. She does not trust a man who is ruled by his urges. She tests him. She senses his neediness, his hunger, his lack of control. But the man who retains, he does not chase, he attracts. He is full, so he does not need to take. This energy creates polarity. She feels safe and inspired in his presence. She sees his discipline and opens to his leadership. The dynamic shifts. You become the mountain she wants to climb, not the puddle she steps over. Your leadership is tied to your energy. When you waste your seed, you lose the ability to lead. You become passive, indecisive, and easily swayed. But when you store your sexual power, it crystallizes into clarity, courage, and conviction. You begin to move differently. You walk with purpose. You speak with weight. You do not need validation because you are filled from within. People follow energy, especially sexual energy that has been alchemized into vision and presence. Leaders do not bow to orgasm. They bow to responsibility, truth, and destiny. To stop worshiping the orgasm is to reclaim your freedom. It is to escape the matrix of dopamine slavery. It is to stop being a consumer and start being a creator. This journey requires honesty. Admit where you are still ruled by lust. Accountability. Track your habits and triggers. Vision. Know what you're building and why. Support. Surround yourself with other men on the path. Commit to retention, breath work, and mastery. The world is drowning in weak men. Men who have given their fire to fantasy. Men who are drained before the day begins. But you're not them. You are here to rise, to lead, to build, to protect, to become divine in form. The higher path, sexual energy, is prayer. When sexual energy is no longer reduced to orgasm, it becomes a prayer. Every pulse of desire becomes a message from your soul. There's more for you. Rise. Do not settle. Transcend. That energy is sacred. It is the whisper of the divine calling you to your throne. Use it. Don't waste it. Breathe it into your heart. Channel it into your purpose. Let it guide your hands, your voice, your decisions. This is how kings are born, not through comfort, but through conservation, not through indulgence, but through integrity. Become the master, not the slave. The orgasm is not evil, but when worshipped, it becomes a god that devours its followers. Stop bowing to it. Stop letting it rob you of your purpose, your clarity, and your fire. Your sexual energy is your most potent power. Guard it. Master it. Transmute it. Let others chase shadows while you build kingdoms. Do not worship the orgasm. Worship the man you are becoming. Join the Retain to Thrive Telegram channel at the link below, where we focus on building discipline, overcoming distractions, and achieving goals. Join the supportive community sharing tips, motivation, and accountability. Let's grow together, one step at a time.